guys, and welcome back here to the Dev Realm, and today we're going to be carrying on our simple series, and today what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be focusing on regenerating resources that we have collected. So imagine this scenario where you are playing through an open world game. Let's say you're creating a game, and every time you collect a resource, that is destroyed from the level. But what happens that if the player wants to create a farm, or if you want the resource to be able to regenerate, and so all sorts of stuff. So what we're going to be doing here today is that we're going to give an option on the item to regenerate the item once the player interact with it. So to do this, we are going to first I'm just going to reduce the item health for, instead of 10, I'm going to put everything to 1, just because I don't really want to wait for too long to pick up the items, right? So I'm going to put everything, I'm going to set to 1. And this one here as well. I'm going to set the health to 1. So it's instant. Save everything. There you go. Now, so the scenario is, okay, I pick up the axe, and I go back in here, and I start to chop down this tree. But what happened is the tree will disappear. And imagine you have a huge game. Like, do you want this tree to be able to respawn or spawn again in the same place? I think we should add that feature to the game. So let's do this. Oh, the first thing I forgot about this. So this is the visibility. You probably noticed this bug happening here. That's because we kind of had an issue with the item here. Like, we don't have a item there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to call item, and we're going to expand this tools box a little bit for the item. Let's see if we have something that we can use there. Okay, let's go back to the games. Icon, sorry, hand. Let's use this. Download it. Go back to downloads. Let's just add the prefix t dash. Drag this one here. Let's go back that. Cool. Now we're gonna put the hand right here. Make sure you save everything. Now we're gonna go back to here and just drag and drop the hand right here. And you do the same for the hand here. Just put it down. Cool. So now if I press play, I have a hand. Go back. That means I can interact with the items, and I can do stuff here. Cool. Right, so let's work out this item regeneration thing. So I'm gonna destroy everything. Sorry, destroy. I'm gonna close everything. I'm gonna browse to this asset here. I'm gonna go to blueprints, and in the base interaction, I'm gonna actually change here. I'm gonna add a variable to this base interaction item, and I am gonna create here another variable called can respawn. And I'm gonna add the respawn delay, right? So they are gonna be public. This is gonna be a float value because it could be seconds. So by default, can respawn is gonna be false, and the respawn delay is gonna be, I'm gonna put like 3 seconds for now, but we can change and bump those values up. Now, so think how this is gonna work. So you guys remember that we already have this action, on action completed, we destroy the actor. That's perfect. But what happens if the user wants to respawn this actor, right? Let's say the player wanna do something with this. So let's say that, okay, if it's false, we don't care because there's nothing you can do about this. But sorry, if you're building your game, right, and if you want to respawn this, how can we do this? So to do that, we need to create like a actor that's in between, right? And this actor that's in between is gonna basically have the class reference of the actor that will respawn, and then after a while it just appears again, right? So to do this, we're gonna create here another folder called, actually, I'm gonna create another actor. I'm not gonna create another folder. I'm just gonna create a random actor here. It doesn't need to extend of anything. It's just an actor that will hold a certain information for us. So let's call this actor BP interaction, or let's go resource respawn, right? And you can even drag this inside the actor interactions, right? So well, I'm gonna organize this a little bit better. So actor interactions, I'm gonna create a folder called resources, and I'm gonna drag all this stuff inside resources. I'm gonna get all those items and put inside here, and I am gonna, oh, I need to refresh. I don't know why Unreal does this sometimes, which is date, yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because it just deleted the folder and then it doesn't delete it. But anyway, now this actor that we just created called BP resource respawn, I'm gonna drag and drop inside here. Nice. Also the buildings, I'm gonna drag and drop inside the actor interactions, because they are all part of the same thing. Now the resources spawn, we can open up this and let's define this actor. So the first thing we need to know is that where would you like to spawn this actor? So we could set up a transform, or we could use the actor location. I think the most sensible thing here to do is to set up, I think we can use the actor location, because let's say you want to save this item in the future. If you want to implement a save system or something, you already have the information. So we're going to call the spawn transform. Spawn transform. Right, this must be a vector, a transform. Make sure it's public and you expose on spawn, right? Now we need to know how long is the delay. So the spawn delay. And what we're going to do here is that it's going to be a float. Make sure that's public as well. And the next thing that you need is just that actor. So the actor that you want to spawn. And this is going to be the type of actor. And we are going to be just a class reference. And expose on spawn. Nice. Now what you got to do is that we're going to go back to the delay, to the event graph. So you're gonna add a delay. The delay is gonna be the spawn delay, and you're gonna spawn actor from class. It's gonna ask what class would you like to spawn and where is the spawn transform. It's gonna be here, and that's all you need to do for this actor. Now all you're gonna do is that we need this reference here, and on the interaction where we call the actor base interaction blah blah blah, you just basically need to spawn an actor from class, and you need to put this class here, and here's gonna ask us for a couple of informations. I can see that we are missing, I'm just gonna call transform because it is not picking up in here. But anyway, if I refresh this, it's gonna ask the transform, right? So first of all, we need to get self, which is a reference from our self, and we need to get the actor. So we're gonna get class. This will give us access to the class of is our actor. How long is the delay? We're gonna put it right there. And here we need to get our transform. So we're gonna get actor transform, and we can plug this one here and make sure you plug this one here. Right, now you're probably asking, why have we created another transform here instead of using this one right there? is that just because when, let's say, you're trying to save the game, you can't. It's better to have a variable that you can access through. Of course, you could access the transform this actor in here, and absolutely could. But I just feel more comfortable having a variable called transform, so we can assign this to a saving if we have to. Nice. Now, I think that's everything that we need here. Now let's go back, let's close everything, and let's try with this tree. So if you got a tree, I'm gonna press can respawn. It's gonna say, oh, the respawn delay is 3 seconds. So we're gonna get the axe, and we're gonna go back here. Let's see, hit, 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 hit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There you go. The resource comes back to life. Look at this. So you kind of have infinite tree. Like it keeps doing this loop for us forever. So it's like and 2, 3. Oh yeah, because the actor. Okay, we need to fix that because right now we have those options, can be respawn or not. Like we need to pass this as well. So let's figure out a way of doing this. So to do that, let's go back to the resource spawn, right? And we need to, so we already have the delay, which is great, but we need this variable, say can respawn, right? And that's gonna be public. And I'm gonna go back to the actor interaction. I'm gonna refresh, and oh, I forgot to expose that on spawn. Now I'm going to refresh this, and I can just plug this one right here. And here I'm just going to call spawn settings, I guess, or spawn or respawn settings. Respawn settings, and I'm just going to drag here. Nice. Now, of course, that's not all you got to do. All you got to do right now is that in theory we can spawn any resource that we like. No, sorry, in here we need to be able to identify which kind of actor is this. So we're gonna cast to base tree, no, cast to base interaction, right? And what I'm gonna do here is that if the casting is successfully, we're gonna set the respawn delay to that because we already have the information. And we also gonna set the set can respawn to true or false depending on the actor settings. And then after this is successfully, we can destroy itself, destroy the actor, because I don't want to keep the actor that we just use as a base to respawn stuff alive. Otherwise there will be a waste of resource and a waste of data on our level. So I'm just gonna align this one here. Compile and save. Alright, so let's see if this is true. So in theory, I'm gonna bump this actor settings to just 2 seconds. Alright, and let's see. So if I go back in here, get the item. Why is that not working? Because it got, yeah, intercepted by the other one. Anyway, now I go here and I start chop the tree, you know, chopping down the tree and whatever. So in 2 seconds that should respawn. It did. Now we should do that. So keep chopping down the tree. 2 seconds, that should respawn. So in theory, as you can see, that keeps working in a loop forever, which is really, really good here. So one thing that I could see that we could do is, for example, right, we could go back, we could go now, and look how expensive this, sorry, how like cool this game is becoming. So you can go here to the blueprints. You can go to character, sorry, main blueprints, and you have here actions, and you have, where's the building? Building player, input animation tools UI. Well, have we put it that stuff? Player animations, input tools, and well, I'm gonna search for building, for the building table, right? Building table, it's right here, which is great. And look what, in theory, what you can do. So you can duplicate a house, right? And you can call this a tree. And let's say you want to plant a tree, right? So you can go back to our bridge that we don't have. So let's go back to our blueprints, interaction, and we can go to resource, and we can maybe put a tree here. And let's say you need 10 of wood and whatever the stone. So in theory, I can click on the tree and do this. Now, of course, that this is gonna throw an error. So what I want to do here is that I want to quickly go back to the building stuff, and on the BP base building, we have this thing called placing mode on or off, right? And this comes from the parent. So what I can do here is on the placing mode on, I can just get the mesh, set the collision to no collision, right? Let's see if that would work. I think that would work. So I can place this one here, cool. And I can also copy this logic, go back, paste it, and I can say collision enable, right? And now one last thing that I want to do here is that I can go browse to the asset, and by default I'm gonna do something crazy here where I just put, I don't know, like can respond to true, and I can set the delay to 2, and then I can do, and let's see what's gonna happen. Right, so let's see what's gonna happen now. Let's press play. So I am gonna get the tree. I'm gonna put a tree here. I guess to max. And I'm gonna try to chop the tree down. So the tree, 15, 18, 8, 1. Okay. Now after 2 seconds, tree is up. So now look how cool is this. Like you can create. Like you see, you can build stuff around it now. Like you just basically have to drag and drop trees, and you can create stuff. So let's create, for example, here a very farm. Let's create a farm, right? Let's do a farm. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm gonna go back to the tree, and I'm gonna set this stuff to can respawn. Respawn settings. I'm gonna put the delay to like 10. It's gonna leave 10 seconds. And to be honest, it's too much. You probably want to bump this to like 60 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on how often you like this to spawn. But the point here is that I'm gonna duplicate the base bush, right? And I'm gonna call this BP farm, right? And I'm gonna open up the farm here, the base bush. And let's find a very nice farm that we can, the crop that we can use. So we have corn crops and have all sorts of crops that we can use. So I can use that. That's too big, to be honest. Can we make this a little bit more smaller? That's a corn crop. That's a cornfield. Right. I'm gonna use. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm gonna use here is that I am gonna get the corn one. Which one can we use? Here's an example. The lettuce. Okay, let's use this one. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna put the lettuce here, and I'm just gonna right now test the size, if the size is good enough for us or not. If we press play, so is this a good size? It requires a basket. Okay, so let's get a basket here. Okay, let's go back here. I think what I can do with this is I'm just gonna increase the farm capsule size. Well, actually, I'm gonna clear the mesh, compile and save that. I'm gonna add a secondary mesh underneath. So I'm just gonna search for the crop again. I'm gonna add this one here, crop lettuce. And I'm just gonna scale this thing a little bit down, because right now it's too much. I think it's too big. Let's scale like this. Okay, let's do 0.75. Okay, let's make sure that we call just mesh, right? Or crop. Now the capsule we can leave the way it is. The actor collision, I'm just gonna increase this to, actually sorry, we can increase this on here. So I'm gonna increase that size to be around like this. So let's press play and see what happened. So it's easy for us to be around it. So now it's gonna say that I require a basket. Now for a crop, it's not really fair to use a basket. So it's not the right one that we want to use. So the first thing we're gonna do is that is a food resource, but the action we're gonna change. We're gonna be using the watering. Let me just double check if is this the right action. Watering, and have we added? Okay, cool. Let's press play and let's see what's gonna happen. So now it's gonna say that we need this. We probably need to create a different item for this. Let's just put it here. But what we can do, you see that it changed that for us. Now let's create a different item for the farm. So I want to use the food resource, but do we require a different item? Do we keep that item? Well, I'm gonna keep the basket. That's fine. Like I could probably create, you know, another item where browse to asset. You could do this. Like you could duplicate that and call BP item hole. You open up the hole here. You go to the mesh. You know, you could just add the hole there. Basically what we'll do is that it would behave exactly as the basket, but it would have a hole. I mean, to be honest, it's fine. It's food, it doesn't matter. Otherwise, you start to be too granular as well. You want to have fun. You don't want to, yeah. So if you guys want to go ahead and create another item, you could do this. But for now, I'm just going to leave as that one. Right, but anyway, that's not the point. The point that I wanted to do here is that now what I can do, I can open up this and edit. And what I can do on the construction script, I can get the crop and I can set the mesh, set the static mesh, and I'm gonna create here a variable called crop mesh, and this is gonna be a static mesh public, and I'm gonna create an array. Now let's see what crops can we use for this. So I'm gonna add here a couple of options. So I'm gonna add a couple of options here. And I add another one. Yeah. So this one's gonna be the first one. We're gonna add the corn crop. We're gonna add this crop. We're gonna add the wheat crop. And we could add And then you could, I don't know, you can add some stuff like this, and you could probably create something where the crop grows the size automatic or whatever. But for this specific scenario, we're gonna make it simple. Now I'm gonna go back to this, right? And for the crop, oh, why is that not? Oh yeah, it's not working because we need to get a random array item. We're gonna place it right there. So it should have a different crop farm every time. So now, where's the crop? You see that if I move it, it has like different crop sizes every time you move it, which is something, it's nice. Right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna change how much health does he has. So I just want to make sure that he has like, I don't know, 60 points of health because it's a farm and it gives you quite a lot of food, so it's fine. Now we want to make sure that this crop respawn, and we're gonna put the respawn just for testing for 3 seconds. But now if you go back to the building, by the way, to open this menu here, you just Control P and then you search for building. That's the data table that we're looking for. And instead of using a tree, we're gonna change this to a farm. And a farm, we're gonna put this like a farm. And the actor that we are gonna use is gonna be the farm. Let's go back to that game icons. Let's just go to here, farm. We can probably use that. Yeah, it sounds like a good icon for us. We can call it T-dash. I'm gonna drag this one. Oh, I need to just find the right place to drop the icons. Here. I want to drop the icons right there. So I'm just gonna drop this one here. And I'm gonna save this stuff. Drag right here. Cool. Now for the farm, I want to make it very hard for the player to build. I want to make sure you have 100 of everything. So you have food, wood, and stone, and whatever. So you can create a farm. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to open up the farm, and it's going to say I need all those required, right? So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to get the hoe, I'm going to get the axe, I'm going to get that, and oh, the axe is missing, and I'm gonna get a pickaxe. And now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get some stone. So I need 100. Let's see how far we can get this. Yeah. Actually, this is gonna take too long. Let me just go back to the player here. Actually, let's lower those values, right? Like why we already have the stuff open. I'm gonna put everything to 20, but you probably wanna make the farm a quite bigger value if you wanna. Yeah. So now what we can do is that we can place a farm. Oh, okay. One thing I forgot on the farm. Let's disable the collision of this to false. No collision. Now we should press play. Here, farm that still has the collision. Is that because of the capsule? Let me have a look. No collision. Yeah, okay. So you can add his here. And now I can come in here. Oh, we actually forgot about this. We need to change the name of this actor to say farm. You know what you can do here? You could create a dynamic way of changing the farm. Like what you could do here is that we use this way to get a crop, which is dynamic. You could also do that to set the name to be dynamic. But for now, we're just gonna call this farm. And that's it. So we got 6% of health, watering, blah, 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 blah. Everything works the way we expected, which is really good. So we get the farm. You can rotate the farm to, oh, we put form. I don't think we can use a form. Let's just rename that. But anyway, the point is that I think we got everything working fine. So you can plant the farm right here. You know, you can plant another farm. Let me just move my character here. can put another one here, and I can put, oh, I need more wood and stuff, but I can come in here and collect the food. And as you guys can see, like just with this idea, you guys can start to, you see, collecting food, and you can see the health that you have on the farm that we're trying to collect, and all sorts of stuff. I think, guys, we kind of getting very close to the end of this series. The next episode, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do some refactor on when we get, for example, when we need to get an item on, like when we need to require. I wanna highlight which one is the red one, which one is the one that we have the least, sorry. And then after this, I'm gonna probably start to work towards the word. So we're going to create a very basic landscape. We're going to add some trees here and this. We're going to create a menu where you're going to press play. You're going to load that game for you, and then you're going to have fun and play. And then from there you can scratch and you can start to create your own games. So once again, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next one.